Are y'all ready to go beyond the gates? Nicole got sentimental while Isaiah took flack because he wouldn't cop to being a cop. Derek had one move, while Kat and Chelsea each thought the other could be doing better in their relationship. Finally, Haley got hit with 2 bolts of X-ray vision while Samantha would do anything to score a touchdown. Let's fill up those 2 scoops and find out what happened inside and outside the gates of Fairmont Crest. All right, let's just lay it out. Commercialism has been a thing ever since TV started. That's why we're willing to sit through tons of ads, though every other one being a pharmaceutical spot gets on my last nerve, as part and parcel of our favorite shows. In this case, soaps. But one thing Beyond the Gates has taught us is that there are product placement lines that definitely shouldn't be crossed. When Nicole started spraying her Febreze around in early spring, it was almost cute in kind of a wink-wink, nod-nod kind of way. But by the time Naomi was spilling chocolate pudding on her pillowcase and telling us how awesome Tide was, the hairs on the backs of most of our necks stood up. It was a breaking of a fourth wall that felt forced, tacky, and just out of place on any show. That was in April. And thankfully, somebody seemed to listen to our collective groans, because we went all summer and into fall without characters casting themselves in wannabe commercials. This past Monday, Nicole whipped out her Febreze again, which, hey, why not? But on the show's Halloween on Thursday, Nicole sprayed testimonials along with her pumpkin roll. Having Nicole sing the praises of Febreze to Vernon was just too much. You want to stick a bottle of something in the frame? Go for it. You want to show a character using a product? You do you. But for the love of everything soapy, please knock it off with stopping our stories to have someone talk about how awesome air freshener, laundry detergent, or any other real-world item is. How about this? Shoot a separate commercial with a Gates character on set. That's what they used to do on Bewitched when Samantha hawked oats or Chevrolets. Moving on. Nicole was doing her best to transition into her post-Ted era, but she just couldn't be sure doing that with Carlton was the right thing. Vernon posited that Nicole's hesitation might be because a new involvement felt scary after her marriage to Ted went nuclear, and Danny deemed the Ted-Carlton friendship partner thing a non-issue, advising Nicole to point Ted to the department of who gives a flying fig. Danny's dialogue is Fort Knox level of gold. I'm of 2 minds because I get Nicole not wanting to rebound, but girl, it's Carlton. With Danny's nudging, Nicole asked Carlton out, but as they later did some pre-date flirting, Ted came upon the scene and got all up in his jealousy. Carlton broke off some truths for him, and Ted retorted that those wouldn't hurt as much as Ted's fist going upside Carlton's head. Oh, Teddy boo. Like Carlton couldn't wipe the hospital floor with your wussy ass. Nicole, on the other hand, was embarrassed to be fought over in public and canceled her evening with Carlton. Why punish him? Ted started it, and Carlton only came to your damn defense, Nicole. You should have been Febrezing the bedsheets in anticipation instead of spraying Carlton with its disappointment scent. Carlton even apologized, which was enough for Nicole to admit she wasn't ready to date yet. Now at least that was mature and honest, as well as totally understandable. Nicole also didn't want Carlton putting his life on hold while she navigated her new normal, but he was willing to stick around for a while and see what happened. I'm telling ya, I am liking Gnarlton more and more all the time. As for Ted, he ran into Leslie, who had just descended on Fairmont Crest in her not-at-all ironic angel costume. As expected, Leslie sassed Nicole and even made off with a heaping handful of her Halloween candy. Unexpectedly, things got super chill between Leslie and Ted, with the former waitress's former lover seeing flashes of the old Dana as they talked. Could it be possible for them to be friends, he wondered? I would never have thought that myself, but it does seem to be the direction in which we are heading. Would it be so bad? For Leslie to finally have some kind of relationship with Ted, it would mean, on top of inheriting those many bajillions, she'd actually have everything she wanted. Which I hope would be the cue for her to lose absolutely all of it. The show let us know that they haven't forgotten about Leslie being a suspect in nearly killing Laura twice, in the form of Leslie suddenly, and very much out of the blue, bragging about how she had donated her motorcycle jacket to charity. Even Ted called that out as getting rid of the evidence. Leslie seems poised to have every heart's desire fulfilled, which could be soap speak for her finally getting her comeuppance. Elsewhere, Ted decided it was time for Eva to start calling him Dad, and she didn't know where to look upon receiving the offer. She was so moved, pretty much all she could do was cry silent tears. Amber Michelle delivers those so well. Did she learn from Catherine Kelly Lang on B&B? Eva accepted, and Ted vowed to get back to integrating her into the Richardson family, especially with the holidays coming up. Leslie had sought Ted out at the hospital simply to thank him for taking Eva out to breakfast. But when she found out that he wanted their daughter to address him as Dad, Leslie became emotional, saying Eva had longed for that her whole life. Instead of draping herself on him like she usually does, Leslie offered him a genuine hug, which Nicole saw. And we should care. Why? She's got Carlton and is moving on. Let Leslie have Ted already. Eva did the rare thing of skipping meal-taking with Leslie in favor of hanging out at Uptown, where Isaiah just happened to walk in. The Is reported that his job interview at Banneker University had led to an offer of employment, but he was on the fence about taking it owing to there being someone to consider. That someone turned out to be Yolanda, a girl with whom Isaiah had just broken up. Aw, man. Couldn't Isaiah just have been free and single? Why did we have to bring him in as rebound territory? He and Eva clearly have chemistry, and she deserves more than another heaping helping of sloppy seconds. Anyway, before that even factored in, Kat showed up and decided she needed to be Isaiah's personal town crier, spilling every gallon of Eva tea and warning her cousin's sister's husband's brother off of Ms. Thomas. Chelsea later heard about this and thought it was a step too far, and I have to agree. Kat flexing on Thomas is one thing, because she met him first, and they were involved first. And okay, I can see her wanting to protect her family and extended family, which is big with her. But it also seems like Kat just doesn't want Eva to have any good thing happen whatsoever. And that makes her hella petty. Like, we didn't already know that's what Kat is, but it was especially grating here. Girl, you got Thomas and his broken D, stay in your lane. We knew from the previous week that Isaiah and Jacob are brothers. So it stood to reason that we would soon see Isaiah with at least one other Hawthorne. And we did. In the form of Elon, through whom we learned that Isaiah had gotten mixed up with gangs and had been arrested once. Or possibly more than once. However, Isaiah had cleaned up his act with college degrees and academic service, which wasn't good enough for his police chief dad. No, Elon had an axe to grind because Jacob, and his other off-screen brother Luke, and even their mama Darlene, were all on the force and Isaiah wasn't. What is this, 1950? Elon considers Isaiah an outcast because he didn't take over the family business? If Elon hadn't later told Joey that he would do anything for the kid, I'd have wanted to slap Elon into the middle of next week. Too bad he can't actually show Isaiah that vulnerability. The Kenneth Chronicles may not stay buried for long either. Jacob and Elon got into a spat over how the senior detective had killed the investigation of the body in the park. And when Isaiah saw Eva again, he said that his brother, who had a long history of idolizing their father, clearly had gone sour on the guy. Intrigued I am? Hell, Jacob still doesn't know that Naomi knows the Stance Park stiff was Kenneth. Yolanda had blown off Isaiah's most recent attempt at communication, and Eva could tell that Isaiah was back at Uptown for some serious rebounding. That didn't stop the sparks from flying between these two, but Tomas might have put his now requisite ice pack right on Eva and Isaiah's mojo. He let Eva know that he had heard from Kat that Jacob, the 5'0" who had tried to arrest Leslie for Laura's assaults, was Isaiah's brother. Woo! Told you justice is coming for Leslie! Should be interesting to see how this affects Eva and Isaiah going forward. Though, Anita got the gang together and decided she wanted to dedicate the Dupree Foundation's annual Winterfest to Barbara and direct its proceeds toward providing mental health services to musicians. Danny and Nicole loved the idea. The amazingly present Laura did too, but what if, as Barbara's daughter Laura owed, Leslie either wanted to swoop in and control the whole thing, or just quash it all together? La Dupree considered this for a moment, but decided to forge ahead anyway. Next on the agenda, Danny proposing that one lucky auction winner be granted a private luncheon with the Articulates. Ooh, that could be cool. Also cool was Anita mentioning that Tracy and Sharon were still on tour, and Nicole half-jesting that Anita impersonator Jackie Tyree MC. Why do I feel like we haven't seen the last of the lisping doppelganger? I just can't with Derek anymore. All he does is try to get up out of his wheelchair only to be almost caught.